So you can buy every single Volvo 850 for sale in the UK right now and have £139,000 left just from the depreciation on the Lamborghinis. This is such a stupid video. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching. Now, I've made some pretty silly videos in my time, but I think this one might take the biscuit. But essentially, you can prove anything with maths. In today's video, I'm going to prove that my Volvo is better than a Lamborghini. Last week, I took a £500 Volvo to Donington Park for a track day, and I posted the video on YouTube, not knowing that established YouTuber Mark McCann was working on almost the exact same video. Where I used a 280,000 mile Volvo 850 on a freezing cold day, Mark used a £280,000 Lamborghini on a very wet day. Actually, he used 4 Lamborghinis, which were valued at more than £1 million. Now, there aren't many YouTube channels that would claim that a £500 Volvo is a better buy than a brand new Lamborghini, but if you've been following me for a little while, then you'll know that really this is the channel to make that claim. So, with all of that in mind, how did the cars stack up at Donington Park? Firstly, it was very, very wet when Mr. Mark McCann did his track day, but then again, it was barely above freezing for us, as you will have seen from the video. So what were the lap times like? Well, sadly, Mark didn't actually post a full video of a lap because his video was sort of edited so that people with no attention span can watch it. Sorry, Mark, but just leave it in full and just turn your music down. You don't need all the wild music. I wanted to see the lap. Too much music. But the other thing is, I think he was just desperate to get to Nando's because the weather was bad. Nando's is rubbish. I went there once and I was bitterly disappointed. Just rubbish. But the lap times are published in the video. This is a shame because I really wanted to overlay a Lamborghini lap at the top of the screen with my Volvo lap at the bottom of the screen, but couldn't do it because he didn't leave in a full lap. So we'll have to make do with what we've got. So the first one he went round in was the Lamborghini Urus Performante, and that did a 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Then there was the Sterato, which is the 4-wheel drive Hurricane thing. That did 2 minutes and 1 second. Then the Aventador SVJ, which he said was wearing part-worn tyres. And that did 2 minutes and 12 seconds. And finally, the Hurricane STO did it in 1 minute 59 seconds. My Volvo, on a hot lap, on my best lap, did it in 1 minute 51 seconds. Yes, I know it was wet for the Lamborghinis, but a 4-wheel drive Lamborghini should be able to get round Donington Park faster in the wet than an old £500 Volvo can in the dry. I just really felt like, particularly the Sterato, should have got a faster lap than the Volvo, but it didn't. The Volvo was faster, which just, the mind just boggles. So that's the lap times. Now, what about the prices of the cars? My Volvo, it was 500 quid, but it had 500 quid's worth of stickers and tyres and bits on it. So let's call it £1,000. The Urus Performante was £278,000. The Sterato was £245,000. The Aventador SVJ, £380,000. And the Hurricane STO, £280,000. Some serious money. So, how rare are these Lamborghinis and how rare is the Volvo? Well, if we want to be specific, my Volvo 850 on the V5 is just called an 850. It's nothing special, it's just an 850. That means it's one of 150 out of a total Volvo 850s of all types, 1,749. So I own one of a car that is 1 in 150 in a batch of 1,749 that are left. The Lamborghini Urus Performante, there's 56 Performantes registered against 1,373 total Urus in the UK. The Sterato is a rarer car. I don't know how many of those have come to the UK, and despite doing a lot of research late last night watching Harry's Garage amongst others, there was 1,499 of those made. The Aventador SVJ is one of 60 out of 520 Aventadors in total. The Hurricane STO, there's 111 of those out of 1,447 total. So Mr. Mark McCann owns one of each of those examples shown, which means he owns 4 out of 6,588 total cars, or he owns 1 in every 1,647 examples of those cars. Maths, right? You can't disprove this. This is just maths. You might not know this, but I currently own 4 Volvo 850s. This one that I'm sitting in now, which is the gold one, the blue one, which is the race car, the red one, which is my diesel one, and the other bluey green one that Joseph Lloyd used on the track day. 4 cars. So I own 4 out of 1,749 cars, or 1 in every 774 examples. That not only makes me faster than Mark McCann in his Lamborghinis around the track, but it also technically makes me a bigger car collector than Mark McCann. And I just proved it with maths. Right, so with maths in mind, let's go a little bit further. Let's play a game that I like to call, how many Volvos can you buy for one of those? Assuming the Volvo was $1,000, well, it wasn't, it was 500 quid, but I added 500 quid's worth of stickers and tyres. As I've said, for $1,000, I can buy 1 Volvo. 1 Volvo for 1 Volvo. For a Lamborghini Urus Performante, I could buy 278 Volvos. For the Sturato, 245. For the Aventador SVJ, 380 Volvo 850s. For the Hurricane STO, 280. So you could buy 1,183 Volvo 850s for what those 4 Lamborghinis cost combined. Now the question is, that's, by the way, £1.183 million, £1,183,000 for those 4 cars. But the question is, what are the Lamborghinis really worth? Well, for that we have the the good Lord gave us the gift of We Buy Any Car. So my Volvo 850 that I paid 500 quid for with 280,000 miles, according to We Buy Any Car, is worth £450. The Lamborghini Urus Performante was registered in January of this year, so let's assume 3,000 miles. The value comes back at £194,415. The Sturato, I'm getting £199,120. The Aventador SVJ, £254,330, and the Hurricane STO, £223,350. So the total price that we could realise if we sold all 4 Lamborghinis to We Buy Any Car would be £871,215. Now remember, the buy price when new was £1,183,000. So that means the depreciation on the Lamborghinis has been £311,785. So on depreciation alone, I only lost 50 quid. Whereas Mr. McCann has lost more than £300,000 to then be slower around the track than me in my Volvo. Now, according to the maths, not only am I faster around the track than Mr. Mark McCann and a bigger car collector than Mr. Mark McCann, but I am actually a more... I'm laughing whilst I'm even just saying this to justify it. But I am also... I'm going to carry on with the script. I am also a more shrewd investor. So, if you sold all of the Lamborghinis to We Buy Any Car and you got your £871,000, how many Volvo 850s could you buy at £1,000 each? Well, 871, obviously. So, let's do it. Problem is, how many Volvo 850s are for sale at the moment? Well, I have looked. Yes, I've spent all day on this. On Facebook Marketplace, there's 25, but 5 of them are saloons, and that doesn't count because nobody buys saloons. One of them is a pickup, risky, and one of them's in Birmingham, so no. On eBay, there's 12, but again, 5 of them are saloons, and on Auto Trader, there's 4, but they're all saloons. So that's only 41 cars for sale at the moment. Remember, we can afford to buy 871, but we've only got 41 for sale at the minute. How much would it be to buy them? We've got £871,000 to play with. Well, all the cars on Marketplace come to £83,416. All the cars on eBay come to £69,485, and I've guesstimated the values of the ones that are on auctions, because let's be honest, I probably know more about Volvo 850 values than anyone, because I buy all of them. On Auto Trader, it would be £19,700 for 4 cars. Notwithstanding that a couple of the cars on eBay won't ever sell, and there's a couple on there that have been for sale forever, and there's even one on there that I sold recently. So, to buy every single Volvo 850 that is currently for sale in the UK, it would cost you £172,601. So you can buy every single Volvo 850 for sale in the UK right now and have £139,000 left just from the depreciation on the Lamborghinis. This is such a stupid video. So, what would I do on this horrible, freezing cold, grey Wednesday? Well, I'd sell all the 4 Lamborghinis to We Buy Any Car, and I'd take my £871,215. Then, I'd fix all the oil leaks on the race car, and I'd buy some new tyres, and I'd do some of the small jobs, and that would leave me with £870,000, there or thereabouts. Then I would buy one of 30 Lamborghini LM002s, the V12 engine Lambo 4x4, and a Gallardo Spider, because I like those. But I would have it painted the exact colour of the Hot Wheels Lamborghini Diablo that I remember from when I was a kid. And whilst putting this video script together, I went and bought one on eBay, a Hot Wheels Lamborghini Diablo to add to my collection, and it cost me a tenner. So, despite all these crazy numbers, I just spent a tenner on a Hot Wheels car that would have been a quid when it was new. What a waste of money. So there we go. Using simple maths, I have proven that a Volvo 8, categorically, using maths and statistics and numbers and spreadsheets, I have proven that a Volvo 850 is better in every way than a Lamborghini, that I am a bigger car collector than Mark McCann, and finally, that my Lamborghini is substantially smaller than his. But then again, it's not really about the size, is it? It's what you do with it. So there you go. I'm off to book another track day. That was a bit of fun. Someone sent me a link last night to Mark McCann's video, and I genuinely couldn't believe that even in the wet, the Lamborghinis aren't going around the track faster than the Volvo 850. So either I am an amazing driver, or it was just really, really, really wet. Thanks for the videos, Mark. I do follow your channel. I quite enjoy it. I'd really like to come round to your house, and that sounds weird, but can I jump my car on your ramp? I did message you on Instagram about this the other day, but send me a message. Maybe we can do a jump together. Right, that's it. I'm going to go make some videos that actually make sense now, because let's be honest, that one was totally pointless. Thanks for watching. Oh!